Hello guys, welcome to the clinical scenarios. I hope you people are learning and grasping what was my aim with this series, because we always tend to read the question when it is given just in the question form and you read the MCQs and do. But now with the changing trend of more and more clinical scenarios, because your next examination guidelines clearly says that you will be having more and more comprehensive and analytical type of questions, and your NEET 2020 paper did show that there are more and more clinical scenarios. I hope this series will definitely help you. So let's see this question. 48-year homeless man. See, when you read such questions, every word counts. He is a homeless man with a history of HIV and coming to the emergency department with the floaters and the blurring of vision in the right eye. Okay, now the symptoms started a week ago and has become really bothersome. So floaters are actually really bothering him. They are already giving you a history of HIV. He is an old man and he has not had ocular pain. So basically they are also giving you negative history, not had ocular pain or fever or the headache. Now this patient takes the combination antiretroviral therapy. He is already on antiretroviral therapy and that includes a protease inhibitor. 6 months ago he was also hospitalized with the pneumocystic pneumonia along with the that was due to the medication non-compliance. Along with this, we have temperature, that is your 37.2, blood pressure 120/70, pulse 78 per minute and BMI is 17. Vision is decreased in the right eye. Fundoscopic examination is showing you yellowish white exudates immediately adjacent to the fovea and the retinal vessels, white patches on the oropharyngeal mucosa, and neurological examination shows another negative history. They are saying no focal weakness or sensory loss. So which of the following is the most likely diagnosis? So let's see what are the options they have given. CMV retinitis, herpes simplex keratitis, herpes zoster ophthalmicus or HIV retinopathy. Now HIV retinopathy is nothing. We have got a retinopathy which is taking place in HIV, that is in the form of CMV retinitis. So I will not say it is a HIV retinopathy. Okay, HIV retinopathy is something which is related with the cytomegalovirus, because the most common opportunistic infection which is occurring in the people who are HIV positive is your CMV. Okay. Now what is happening, they have already given you a history of HIV, immunocompromised, and he is a patient who is non-compliant and he is homeless, and there are a lot of floaters. Also one more thing they have given, that he has also suffered from pneumocystic pneumonia. So basically he is having poor HIV which is having more and more risk factors. Most common infection in the body due to the HIV is your lung infections, pneumocystic carinae infections. You have most common tumors like Kaposi sarcoma, and then we have got most common opportunistic infection in the eye, that is your CMV retinitis. Okay. Now why they have actually added this herpes simplex keratitis and herpes zoster ophthalmicus, because these are also two diseases which are more common in cases of your immunocompromised patients, patients. So this is actually more common in those patients who are actually immunocompromised, and that is why the answer is not herpes simplex keratitis or herpes zoster ophthalmicus, because it is not single disease which is actually common in immunocompromised patients. And moreover, when they are saying directly HIV, you will think first of the CMV retinitis, because it is a most common opportunistic infection in HIV people. Now if you look at the clues, another thing they are saying that there are white patches on the oropharyngeal mucosa. We have got the white patches on the oropharyngeal mucosa. So this is very, very suggestive of the candidiasis. This is very, very suggestive of the candidiasis. So basically we are heading towards the infections which are common in the HIV patients. He is having pneumocystic carinae infection. We have got pneumocystis carinii, which is actually the lung infection common in the HIV. This is your lung infection. Then we have got common tumor. This is your Kaposi sarcoma. This is actually common in these people. Then we have got candidiasis. Candidiasis, that is your oral candidiasis, is very common in the HIV people. So these are the things which are showing that actually this can be a case of HIV along with the superadded infections which are common in the HIV people. Now moreover, if you look at the fundus picture says that this patient is having yellowish white exudates immediately adjacent to the fovea and the retinal vessels. Now, if we consider it to be a case of herpes simplex keratitis or herpes zoster ophthalmicus, what are the lesions I will expect? It will not give me this yellowish white exudation in the fundus. Rather, you know, herpes simplex is very characteristically giving you the dendritic keratitis. As you have seen in the other cases also, dendritic ulcers are very characteristic in the herpes simplex virus. So I will not get the exudates in the fundus, rather I will get the dendritic ulcer, and if I give the steroids, it can even change to the geographical ulcer. Geographic ulcer can occur due to the steroids. It can occur due to the steroids. And then if I talk about the herpes zoster ophthalmicus, herpes zoster ophthalmicus can lead to the pseudodendrites. It can lead to the pseudodendrites, and pseudodendrites means that no knobs are present. So basically, you know, the spectrum of the ocular manifestations which are occurring with the viral infections like herpes simplex, herpes zoster will be your dendritic ulcer, you have pseudodendrites, you will have the keratic precipitates, you will have the decreased corneal sensation. So that is entirely different when you match up with the HIV. Okay, now we try to see actually how this can be a case of CMV retinitis. CMV retinitis is actually the most common opportunistic infection that occurs in the patients of the HIV first of all. And what is the cell count? Now this is again a very important question. The CD count should be less than 50 cells per microliter. CD count should be less than 50 cells per microliter. And what is the most common ocular manifestation? That is the cotton wool spots. Now again many times I get this confusion that if they are asking you about the manifestation and you are having the CMV retinitis in the option, you are also having the cotton wool spots in the option, and there is always a confusion that whether I should name it as CMV retinitis or whether I should name it as cotton wool spots. So see, most common infection, when they are asking you infection, your answer is cytomegalovirus retinitis like they did here. But if they are asking you manifestation, then your answer will be cotton wool spots. Okay, then as I told you, the most common tumor that can occur in these patients is your Kaposi sarcoma, while the most common fungal infection that can occur is the Cryptococcus. Now CMV retinitis can actually manifest in two forms. One is your pizza pie appearance, which they have talked about here, and another is the brush fire like appearance. Now what is the difference between the two? See, pizza pie appearance is a more fulminant variety where you are having lot of red and white areas. What are the red areas? What are the white areas? See, red areas are the vasculitis and the white areas is the necrosis. So if you remember in the question, we have fluffy white exudates present in the fundus. So this is actually your pizza pie appearance, while if you look at the other type, that is your brush fire like appearance. Now though this brush fire appearance is less common, but certainly it is more characteristic. It is slowly progressive type and it is from the periphery towards the fovea. Now let us see how they look like. If you look at this fundus, this is your pizza pie appearance. Clearly you can see the red and white areas, okay, fluffy white areas are showing the fibrinoid necrosis. You have reddish areas, that is showing you the areas of the vasculitis. While if you look at this is the typical brush fire like appearance. So can you see, we can relate everything, every information that is given in the question with this. Okay, so let us come back to the question and try to analyze now. A 48-year male patient who is homeless, he has a history of HIV, he is having floaters. Now floaters can be present due to the vitreous degeneration, and that can be present because you have fibrinoid necrosis and vasculitis present in the vitreous cavity. Symptoms started a week ago and now they are increasing. There is increasing vasculitis as well as the necrosis there. He had not, now you are not having any history of pain, fever or headache, because maybe this is just a local manifestations. Then we have the patient taking the antiretroviral therapy, that is including the protease inhibitor. So he is definitely having a diagnosis of HIV. He had a poor CD count because he has also suffered from pneumocystic pneumonia, right? And they have given you openly that he is a patient who is non-compliant, and temperature, BP, pulse, like vitals are nearly normal. Now fundus shows a fluffy white, yellowish white exudates immediately adjacent to the fovea and the retinal vessels, and white patches, they are suggestive of the candidiasis. So neurological examination shows no deficit. Which of the following is the most likely diagnosis? So clear cut, your answer is A, that is your CMV retinitis. I hope you have understood this question and you are able to correlate the findings along with the findings of the question, and also you have understood why the other three are not the answer. Thank you and happy ophthalmology.